Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Model Kit Review. In today's episode, we are looking at Tamiya's 1/48 scale Supermarine Spitfire Mk.I. This classic kit debuted in 1993, and it is Tamiya part number 61032. In this model kit review, we are going to be taking a look at the built-up kit. We'll also be taking a look at the kit instructions and going through the build sequence. We will take a look at the clear parts that are included with the kit. We will look at the surface detailing that's on the kit. I will talk about any modifications that I made to this kit to enhance detail. I'll also cover any aftermarket items I used on this build. And we'll attempt to answer the question, with all of the newer Spitfire 1 kits currently available on the market, is this classic kit still worth a build? I had a lot of fun building this kit, and although there are some known shape issues with the kit, I think it did turn out pretty well. Taking a look at the kit instructions, step 1 covers the interior detail on the kit. There's an optional pilot figure here, and the only thing I would suggest adding to the kit to enhance detail is some sort of seatbelt. I made a seatbelt out of plastic strip and painted that and put it in. Through the kit canopy, it looks fine. You really can't see a whole lot of detail. There's too much distortion. Step number 2 continues on with the interior detail on the fuselage sides. There's an option if you want to pose the cockpit door open as well. Step 3 is joining the fuselage halves and adding the tail planes. And the fit of these parts was very good. I did not need to use filler on any part of this kit. Step 4 just covers installing the interior into the fuselage and installing the tail wheel. Step 5 just covers the installation of the kit exhaust and cockpit canopy. Step 6 is assembling the main landing gear. Step 7 covers joining the upper and lower wings. I deviated from this by joining the upper wings to the fuselage first in order to get a very good wing to fuselage fit. Step 8 covers the radiator and oil cooler and landing gear installation, along with the air intake mounted on the lower wing. There were no gaps to fill here. Everything just assembled beautifully. And you can see in this picture, I have enhanced the detail that is there with some weathering with pastels. Step 9 is joining the lower wing to the fuselage. Step 10 just covers the assembly of the prop and the installation of the prop and the installation of the lower engine cover. Moving on to the painting and marking guide, there are 2 marking options included in this kit. The first one is an aircraft flown from number 610 squadron. It has the 4 views in black and white, and then on the box top it also has a 3 view in color. Option number 2 is an aircraft flown from number 92 squadron. It also has a 3 view in color on the box top. The one negative about this kit is that the kit supply decals are very, very thick. And I've had a very difficult time getting these thick decals to settle into the panel lines. So what I did was order a set of the extra decals. And the sheet I used was part number X48-086. It includes markings for 2 Hurricanes and 3 Spitfires. I decided to do Spitfire IQV, and that's serial number X4474. These extra decals just went down superbly well. The instructions were great, and this picture really shows how well they settled into the panel lines and rivets. I used Microsol and Microset to get these decals to settle in, and on a few places I did cut them with a razor blade when they were almost dry to get them to settle fully into the panel lines. There are 2 somewhat obvious shape issues with this kit. The first shape issue is the line that goes on the top of the fuselage spine from the tail all the way up to the cockpit canopy. This line should be a straight line, and it's a little bit curved on this kit. It's just enough to be noticeable. The other shape issue that's somewhat obvious is where the wings join the fuselage, and this area is just a little bit beefy compared to a real Spitfire. There are newer kits that capture the look of this area better and a little bit more accurately and a little bit more precisely. In conclusion, even with the newer Spitfire 1 kits currently available, is this classic Tamiya Spitfire 1 still worth building? Well, I'm going to give this kit a 10 out of 10 for buildability. It has a very low parts count. It assembles so quickly and so easily that a newbie modeler should be able to tackle this one with ease and really achieve a very good looking kit. The instructions in the kit are clear and concise, and the decals that come in the kit are certainly usable, if not of the highest quality. The clear parts are reasonably thin, but you're not going to be able to see much interior detail just due to the fact that it has a blown canopy on that. And that's a curved canopy, and it distorts what's visible inside the interior. The detailed parts on the wheels and the landing gear and the exhaust are all sufficient for the scale. They all look decent. Surface detailing on the kit is adequate. It could certainly have more rivet detail. It could have a little bit more enhanced detail on the surface detail of the kit itself. But what is there is restrained, it's consistent, and it really looks good under a coat of paint. If you only build the latest and greatest, there are certainly more accurate kits available from Tamiya and Eduard and Airfix. If you want an easy to assemble kit that will allow you to focus on your painting and weathering and detailing skills, man, this kit is just about perfect. I would recommend this kit to newer modelers or modelers getting back into the hobby who want a simple build that's going to look good on the shelf. Well, I'd love to know what you guys think. If any of you have built this kit before, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, model on.